Yes.
My warm greetings for a lovely sunny winter afternoon to respected Principal Ma'am, Vice Principal Ma'am, teachers, parents, and my dear friends. Before we begin, I would like to request everyone to keep their phones on silent. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget the way you made them feel. With these powerful words of Maya Angelou, I welcome you to the Inter-House English Elocution Competition for students of classes 9 and 11. It is a proud privilege to have amongst us our two esteemed judges for the competition. Our respected Vice Principal, Ma'am Nupur Ghosh, and revered teacher, Ma'am Meenakshi Singh Deo, have spared time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion as judges for the event. Ma'am N. Ghosh is one of those for whom work is passion, and she is thankful to the supreme power for this. The welfare of a student is uppermost in her mind, and to see them happy fills her heart with joy. A die-hard optimist, Ma'am Ghosh considers her a born teacher, and given a choice, she would love to opt for this profession in as many births as may be blessed with. Ma'am Meenakshi Singh Deo has been with MVWS since 2014. A passionate reader, she loves interacting with her students and discussing any and everything under the sun. She believes that we evolve and learn together, each day through the confluence of our lives and thoughts. What warms her heart most is the calm and unabashed confidence of a young student. She loves reading and tries to make others appreciate books and their magic. Among other things, she likes listening to music and coloring. It is with great pride that she says that her students have been, are, and will always be her greatest teachers. Thank you, Ma'am Ghosh, Ma'am Deo, for joining us today. I recall with great cheer a similar day at VK Birla Hall back in 2019 when I sat with my classmates of 9F, filled with enthusiasm, excitement, and anticipation, waiting for a turn to recite a humorous poem for the English choral recitation competition. Though I may not remember each and every word of the poem we memorized for the event, but I can still feel the vibrations of the hall pulsating with excitement as students recited poems before the audience. Elocution is not just learning a poem or speech by heart. It is an emotional investment where the speaker dons the persona of the poet or writer, blending it with his or her personal creative touches and brings alive a joyous and beautiful experience. The themes for today's competition are humor for class 9 and inspirational speeches for class 11. Charlie Chaplin very aptly said, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." So here we are all ready to laugh with our friends, reciting humorous poems by Roald Dahl, Gareth Owen, Cynthia C. Naspinski, and many others. In the words of Vidad Akravi, if you are positive, you'll see opportunities instead of obstacles. With the world waging a long pathological war against the coronavirus, positivity is the need of the hour. Wait for our friends of class 11 to instill in you a strong dose of positivity with their fiery speeches. Now, without much delay, I request our first participant from Gold House to come up and recite a poem. Be ready to laugh with Shubhanishta Bhattasali from 9D, reciting Veruca Salt, The Little Brute by Roald Dahl. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Shubhanishta Bhattasali from 9D, representing Gold House. Today, I'll be reciting Veruca Salt, The Little Brute by Roald Dahl, one of the greatest storytellers for children. Roald Dahl was a British novelist, poet, and a short story writer of the 20th century. To all those out there who don't know Veruca Salt, well, she's a spoiled girl who wants everything and stops at exactly nothing. And nothing stops her from getting what she wants. Not even her own parents. Not really an inspiration, is she? She repeatedly asks her parents to buy her things in the entire story. She does not care at all, even if she's violating all the norms. As long as she gets what she wants, of course. Let's find out what fate has in for this proud, bragging, spoiled brat. Veruca Salt, The Little Brute by Roald Dahl. Veruca Salt, The Little Brute, has just gone down the garbage chute. And as we very rightly thought that in a case like this, we ought to see the thing completely through. We've polished off her parents too. Down goes Veruca down the drain. And here, perhaps, we should explain that she will meet, as she descends, a rather different set of friends to those that she has left behind. These won't be nearly so refined. A fishette, for example, cut this morning from a holly butt. Hello, good morning. How do you do? How nice to meet you. How are you? And then a little further down, a mass of others gather round. A bacon rind, some rancid lard, a loaf of bread gone stale and hard, a steak that nobody could chew, an oyster from an oyster stew, some liverwurst so old and gray, one smelled it from a mile away, a rotten nut, a reeky pear, a thing the cat left on the stair, and lots of other things as well, each with a rather horrid smell. These are Veruca's newfound friends that she will meet as she descends. And this is the price she has to pay for going so very far astray. But now, my dears, we think you might be wondering, is it really right that every single bit of blame and all the scolding and the shame should fall upon Veruca Salt? Is she the only one at fault? For though she is spoiled and dreadfully so, a girl can't spoil herself, you know. Who spoiled her then? Ah, who indeed? Who pandered to her every need? Who turned her into such a brat? Who are the culprits? Who did that? Alas, you needn't look so far to find out who these sinners are. They are, and this is very sad, her loving parents, mom and dad. And that is why we are glad they fell into the garbage chute as well. Thank you. Ever thought how it would feel to sit on a porcupine by mistake? Let's find out from Tahira Fatima Javed of class 9B, representing Emerald House.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Today, I, Tahira Fatima Javed, representing the Emerald House, will be reciting a poem, The Porcupine by Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl was a British novelist, short story writer, and screenwriter of Norwegian descent, who rose to prominence in the 1940s with works for both children and adults and became one of the world's best-selling authors. The Porcupine by Roald Dahl. Each Saturday, I shout, hooray! For that's my pocket money day. So after breakfast, 50p, my generous father gave to me. Like lightning down the road I ran until I reached the sweet shop man and bought the chocolates of my dreams. A great big bag of raspberry creams. There's a secret place I know where I quite often like to go. Beyond the woods, behind some rocks, a super place for guzzling chocks. When I arrived, I quickly found a comfy looking little mound. Quite clean and round, and early brown. Just right, I thought, for sitting down. Here I will sit all morning long and eat until my chops are gone. I sat. I screamed. I jumped about. Would you believe that I had put that tender little rump of mine upon a giant porcupine? My backside seems to catch on fire. 100 pen hot bits of wire. 100 prickles sticking in and puncturing my fresh skin. I ran for home. I shouted, "Mum, behold the prickles in my bum." My mum, who always keeps her head, bent down to look, and then she said, "I personally am not about to try to pull those prickles out. I think a job like this requires the service of Mr. Myers." I shouted, "Not the dentist. No, oh, Mom, won't you have a go?" I begged her twice. I begged her thrice. But grown-ups never take advice. She said, "The dentist's very strong. He pulls things out the whole day long." She rushed me quickly into town, and there they turned me upside down upon the awful dentist's chair, while 2 strong nurses held me there. Enter the dreaded Mr. Myers, waving a massive pair of pliers. "This is," he cried with obvious glee, "a new experience for me. Quite honestly, I can't pretend I've ever pulled things from this end." He started pulling one by one, yelling, "My, oh my, what fun!" I shouted, "Help!" I shouted, "Ow!" He said, "It's nearly over now. For heaven's sake, don't squirm about. Here goes, the last one's coming out." The dentist pulled, and out it came. And then I heard the man exclaim, "Let's now talk about the fees. That'll be 50 guineas, please." My mother is a gutsy bird and never one to mince a word. She cried, "My gosh, that's jolly steep." He said, "No, it's very cheap. My dear lady, don't you see that if it hadn't been for me, this child would have gone another year with prickles sticking in his hair." So that was that. Oh, what a day. And what a fuss. But by the way, I think I know why porcupines surround themselves with prickly spines. It is to stop some silly clown from squashing them by sitting down. Don't copy me. Don't be a twit. Be sure to look before you sit. Thank you.
Laughing is and will always be the best form of therapy. Ready for another pill? Here is Myra Shoaib of 9A with Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf by Roald Dahl.
Good afternoon. I am Myra Schweb of Class 9A, representing Scarlet House. Published in revolting rhymes, Roald Dahl's narrative poem, Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf, is a humorous contemporary spin on the well-known fairy tale. In this version, Miss Riding Hood has an unexpected surprise for the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf by Roald Dahl. As soon as the wolf began to feel that he would like a decent meal, he went and knocked on Grandma's door. When Grandma opened it, she saw the sharp white teeth, the horrid grin, and Wolfie said, "May I come in?" Poor Grandmama was terrified. "He's going to eat me up," she cried. And she was absolutely right. He ate her up in one big bite. But Grandmama was small and tough, and Wolfie wailed, "That's not enough. I haven't yet begun to feel that I have had a decent meal. He ran around the kitchen yelping, I've got to have a second helping. Then added with a fretful leer, I am therefore going to wait right here till little Miss Riding Hood comes home from walking in the wood. He quickly dressed himself in grandma's clothes. Of course, he hadn't eaten those. He dressed himself in coat and hat. He put on shoes, and after that, he even brushed and curled his hair. Then sat himself in grandma's chair. In came the girl in red. She stopped. She stared, and then she said, What great big ears you have, Grandma. All the better to hear you with, the wolf replied. What great big eyes you have, Grandma, said Little Red Riding Hood. All the better to see you with, the wolf replied. He sat there watching her and smiled. He thought, I'm going to eat this child. Compared to her old grandmama, she's going to taste like caviar. Then Little Red Riding Hood said, But Grandma, what a lovely great big furry coat you have on. That's wrong, cried Wolf. Have you forgot to tell me what big teeth I've got? Well, no matter what you say, I'm going to eat you anyways. The small girl smiles. One eyelid flickers. She whips a pistol from her knickers. She aims it at the creature's head, and bang, 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 she shoots him dead. A few weeks later, in the wood, I came across Miss Riding Hood. But what a change! No cloak of red, no silly hood upon her head. She said, Hello, and please do note my lovely furry wolfskin coat. Thank you.
Our next participant is Snigdha Das of Class 9E from Royal House. Another bout of laughter with the poem English Oddities by Adam Schmidt. Dear parents, please keep your phones on silent. And teachers too. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. I'm Snigdha Das from class 9E and today I'll be reciting English Oddities by Adam Schmidt. The English language is quite odd. It must have been a different sort of sort. Who thought this mess all out? He really didn't know what talking was all about. After all, more than one mouse is mice. But on my block, we have houses, not highs. A goose can fly with a bunch of geese, but in Canada, I have not seen a herd of meese. One man and a male friend make men. Then you know as well as I that pen ain't ever pen. I put a foot down and stand on both feet, but I wear some boots and definitely not beat. I pull a tooth and have a gap in my teeth, but at the fair, they have boots, not beat. This is 1 and 2, or more are these, and I get one kiss, but I don't get several keys. How about a brother or a group of brethren, whereas a lovely mother won't meet medren? Then there's pronouns, he, his, and him, but you shan't say she, shiz, and shim. As you know, it's tough with words like bow, whooping cough, and cookie dough. And another thing you can start to hate is how people take boats straight down the street. And why does a nose sound like loose? Why? Tell me, is it goose and moose? Then choose. I still haven't got a single solitary clue. And they tell me I have been talking since 2. Thank you.
Let's see how Insha Khalif of 9G from Grold House is all set to change things with the poem If I Were in Charge of the World by Judith Weierst. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Insha Khalid from class 9G representing Gold House. So today I'll be reciting the poem If I Were in Charge of the World by Judith Weierst. Judith Weierst is an American author, psychoanalysis researcher, newspaper journalist, and is best known for his work related to children literature. This poem, If I Were in Charge of the World, is written from the perspective of a child. He talks about the little things that annoy him and how he wished that he could make changes as per his choice if he were in charge of the world. If I Were in Charge of the World by Judith Weierst. If I were in charge of the world, I'd cancel oatmeal. Monday mornings, allergy shots, and also Sarah Steinberg. If I were in charge of the world, if I were in charge of the world, there'd be brighter night lights, healthier hamsters, a basketball basket 48 inches lower. If I were in charge of the world, you wouldn't have lonely, you wouldn't have clean, you wouldn't have bedtimes, or don't punch your sister, you wouldn't even have sisters. I were in charge of the world. A chocolate sundae with whipped cream and nuts would be vegetable. All 007 movies would be G. And a person who sometimes forgot to brush and sometimes forgot to flush would still be allowed to be in charge of the world. Thank you. Maturity comes when you stop making excuses and start making changes. But our next poem, Excuses, Excuses by Gareth Owen, tells a different story. Over to Navya Nawal of 9G from Emerald House with a long, long list of excuses.
Greetings, everyone. Today, I will be reciting the poem Excuses, Excuses by Gareth Owen. Gareth Owen is a world-renowned poet, novelist, and broadcaster. And he's particularly well known for writing humorous poems about school life. Now, before I start, I've got a joke to tell. Why did the maths book look so sad? Any guesses? Well, because it had so many problems. You get it? Great. Let's begin with the poem. Excuses, Excuses by Gareth Owen. Late again, Blenkinsop? What's the excuse this time? Not my fault, sir. Whose fault is it then? Grandma's, sir. Grandma's? What did she do? She died, sir. Died? She's seriously dead. All right, sir. That makes 4 grandmothers this term, Blenkinsop. And all on PE days? I know. It's very upsetting, sir. How many grandmothers have you got, Blenkinsop? Grandmothers, sir? 1, 2, 3, 4. None, sir. None? You said you had 4? All dead, sir. And what about yesterday, Blenkinsop? What about yesterday, sir? You were absent yesterday? Oh, that was the dentist, sir. The dentist died? No, sir, my teeth, sir. You missed the math test, Blenkinsop. I'd been really looking forward to it, sir. Right, line up for PE. Can't, sir. No such word as can't, Blenkinsop. No kit, sir. Where is it? At home, sir. What's it doing at home? Not ironed, sir. Couldn't you iron it? Can't, sir. Why not? Bad hand, sir. Who usually does it? Grandma, sir. And why couldn't she do it? Dead, sir. Thank you.
Glad Your Nose is on Your Face by Jack Prelutsky is the next laughing pill by Anushka Saha of 9G, representing Scarlet House.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anushka Shah from 9G. I am representing Scarlet House. Today, I'm going to recite the poem, Be Glad Your Nose is on Your Face. Be Glad Your Nose is on Your Face by American poet Jack Prelutsky, named a Children's Poet Laureate by the Poetry Foundation in 2006, yet another of his hilarious poems. Through it, he's spreading the message that we should be grateful for whatever we have without complaining or changing it. Be Glad Your Nose is on Your Face by Jack Prelutsky. Be glad your nose is on your face, not pasted on some other place. For if it were where it is not, you might dislike your nose a lot. Imagine if your precious nose were sandwiched in between your toes. That clearly would not be a treat, for you'd be forced to smell your feet. Your nose would be a source of dread, were it attached atop your head. That soon would drive you to despair, forever tickled by your hair. Within your ear, your nose would be an absolute catastrophe. For when you were obliged to sneeze, achoo! Your brain would rattle from the breeze. Your nose instead, through thick and thin, remains between your eyes and chin, not pasted on some other place. Be glad your nose is on your face. Thank you.
Confessions of a Serial Killer. Sounds scary, right? But remember, today is a laughter therapy session. So, it is Confessions of a Plant Serial Killer by Cynthia C. Naspinski, voiced by Debadruta Malik of 9D from Royal House.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Today, I, Debadruta Malik of class 90, will be representing the Royal House. Confessions of a Serial Plant Killer by Cynthia C. Naspinski. Oh, I wish that I had a green thumb. All my house plants are looking quite glum. I never can tell why they're looking unwell or why so many succumb. Have I failed to give enough water? Have I watered them more than I oughta? Are they getting too hot? Is this not the right spot? It's like sending poor lambs to the slaughter. The hard, undeniable fact is, many succulents, ferns, and cactus, many punks, small and big, have been victims of my malpractice. I confess, I'm a serial killer. Many end up as mulcher land filler. I kill far more plants than snails, thrips, or ants, or an army of green caterpillar. Though house plants are deemed beneficial, should these perish, then it is official. I'll waste no more dough just to watch them die slow. For my next plants will be artificial. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear friends of class 9, for gifting us such bundle of laughs. Definitely a welcome relief for all of us. Now, after having the audience splitting their sides, let's move on to something serious with a sumptuous dose of positivity. Let's welcome Pragya Biswas of 11A, representing Gold House with a speech, "We should all be feminists" by Chimananda Ngozi Adichie.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pragya Biswas from 11A. Today, I will narrate a speech titled "We Should All Be Feminists," given by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, a Nigerian author and women's rights advocate who has written books like Americana and The Thing Around Your Neck. This speech was given by her in 2013 at TEDx Houston. I would like to start by telling you about one of my greatest friends, Okoloma. When I was about 14, we were at his house, arguing. I remember as I argued and argued, Okoloma looked at me and he said, "You know, you're a feminist." It was not a compliment, I could tell from his tone. The same tone you would use to say something like, "You know, you're a supporter of terrorism." Now, men and women are different. We have different hormones, different sexual organs, different biological abilities. Women can have babies, men can't. Men have testosterone and are in general physically stronger than women. About 52% of the world's population is female, yet most positions of power and prestige are occupied by men. The late Kenyan Nobel Peace Laureate Wangari Maathai put it simply and well when she said, "The higher you go, the fewer women there are." But today we live in a vastly different world. The person more likely to lead is not the physically stronger person. It is the more intelligent person, the more creative person, the more innovative person, and there are no hormones for those attributes. A man is as likely as a woman to be intelligent, to be creative, to be innovative. We have evolved, but it seems to me that our ideas of gender have not evolved. But by far the worst thing we do to males is that by making them feel that they have to be hard, we leave them with very fragile egos. The more hard man a man feels compelled to be, the weaker his ego is. And we do a much greater disservice to girls because we raise them to cater to the fragile egos of men. We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We say to girls, "You can have ambition, but not too much. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you would threaten the man. If you are the breadwinner in your relationship with a man, you should pretend you're not, especially in public. Otherwise, you would emasculate him." My great-grandmother, from the stories I have heard, was a feminist. She ran away from the house of the man she did not want to marry and ended up marrying the man of her choice. She refused, she protested, she spoke up whenever she felt she's being deprived of access, of land, that sort of thing. My great-grandmother did not know the word feminist, but it doesn't mean she wasn't one. More of us should reclaim that word. A feminist is a man or a woman who says, yes, there's a problem with gender as it is today, and we must fix it. We must do better. I am a feminist. And when I looked up the word in the dictionary that day, this is what it said. Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes. Thank you.
Let us welcome Mehak Gupta of 11G with Malala Yousafzai's UN speech. She is representing Emerald House.
Good afternoon, everyone. Taliban rule has always been marked by extrajudicial killings, hardline ideologies, and severe restrictions on women. With the recent activities of Taliban in Afghanistan, the world has again witnessed the rights and freedom of women at stake, making the motive of the speech even more relevant. I am Mehak Gupta from Emerald House, and today I will deliver Malala Yousafzai's UN speech. Dear fellows, today I'm focusing on women's rights and girls' education because they're suffering the most. There was a time when women social activists asked men to stand up for their rights, but this time we will do it ourselves. I'm not telling the men to step away from speaking for women's rights. Rather, I'm focusing on women to be independent to fight for themselves. So dear brothers and sisters, now it's the time, speak up. Dear brothers and sisters, we want schools and education for every child's bright future, and we will continue our journey to our destination of peace and education, and no one can stop us. We'll speak for our rights and we will change the world through our voice. We believe in the power and strength of our words. Our words can change the whole world because we are all together, united for the cause of education. And to achieve this, let us empower ourselves with the weapon of knowledge and let us shield ourselves with unity and togetherness. Dear brothers and sisters, we must not forget that millions of people are suffering from poverty, illiteracy, injustice, and ignorance. We must not forget that millions of children are suffering from poverty. Millions of children are out of their schools. We must not forget that our brothers and sisters are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against poverty, illiteracy, and terrorism. Let us pick our books and pens. They are the most peaceful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the solution. Education first. Thank you.
Over to Oishi Sinha Chaudhary of 11A from Scarlet House with the final speech from The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin.
Good afternoon. Today, I, Oishi Sinha Chaudhary of Class 11A, representing Scarlet House, will deliver the final speech from The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin. In this mortal world, there is everything but love. In the movie, The Great Dictator, when the speech of the dictator is replaced by that of a philanthropist, it conveys the moral that we should also replace the dictator staying in our hearts by an ordinary human being who cannot be confined by religion, caste, or creed. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone, if possible, Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness and not by each other's misery. In this world, there is room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives us abundance has left us in want, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, but the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to these brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men. In you, the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then, in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us fight for a new world that will give men a chance to work, youth a future, and old age security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us fight for a new world of reason, where both science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us unite. Thank you.
Next, we have Sriparna Mukherjee of 11 Ephraim Royal House with Freedom is My Birthright and I Shall Have It by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, also endured as Lokmanya, was an Indian nationalist, independence activist, and a teacher. He was regarded as the father of the Indian national movement. He was also one of the very first and strongest advocates for Swaraj, which is self-rule, and a strong radical in India's consciousness. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sriparna Mukherjee from class 11E, representing Royal House. Freedom is my birthright, and I shall have it. I am a young spirit. Whatever I am saying today is deeply felt by this young spirit inside me. The body can wilt, decrepit, or even perish, but the soul residing in my body will forever be young. Similarly, if our home rule activities slow down, then the freedom of our inner spirit shall not sustain and will no longer be indestructible. Then we ourselves will start believing that we have become slaves. Freedom is my birthright. I will not be old as long as it is alive within me. This feeling of freedom, no weapon can cut it, no fire can burn it, no water can drown it, and certainly no wind can blow it. I want to invoke your soul that yearns for freedom, and that can only happen through political progress. Who doesn't understand the meaning of home rule? Who doesn't desire it? If I enter your house today as a guest, reside there forever, and don't pay any heed when you oppose, would you like it? The British, they have been ruling over us for the past century, and they say we are not fit for home rule. They are actually finding it shameful that we are making efforts to save our own country, while on the other hand, England itself is trying to protect its small state of Belgium with India's help. Isn't that shameful enough?
All those who find a selfish motive behind our demands of home rule can also find fault in the all-merciful God. We must save the soul of our nation from this custody of foreign rule. We have to toil for it, but it is our birthright to protect our nation. Illiteracy is a major issue, but together with cooperation, we all can eradicate it. The illiterate in our country, they are equally important for our home rule. They too have equal rights. They have a dire desire for Swaraj. Let it be the strength for all. Those who can easily complete their work can be illiterate, but are not foolish. They can be as intelligent as any literate person out there. Thus, literacy cannot be the parameter for intelligence. I want to reiterate the fact that we have all come here to fight for home rule. So turn not back and confidently leave the ultimate issue to the benevolence of the Almighty. Thank you.
Our next contestant is Ashmita Mukherjee of 11G from Gold House with Never Give Up on Success by Jodi Urquhart.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ashmita Mukherjee from 11G, representing the Gold House. I will be delivering a speech by Jodi Urquhart, Never Give Up on Success. A highly sought-after, funny motivational speaker, Jodi Urquhart is the author of the book All Work and No Say, a best-selling book that shattered assumptions that work can't be rewarding and fun. She's a top female motivational speaker and consultant. She delivers uplifting and funny advice to help her audience develop a buoyant, positive, and meaningful perspective in the midst of stress and change. This is one of the speeches that she wrote. When you show courage in the face of adversity, you change your life and others. The most provocative people in the world are the ones who won't settle for average and have triumphed through adversity. We are most inspired by people who have experienced difficulty and never, ever give up. Luck is great, but life is meant to be experienced. Sometimes the only way out of stress is through it. Face struggle to overcome the challenges in life. Many times the struggle happens to help teach us a lesson. We can either learn from that lesson or deny it. From an evolutionary perspective, the human mind's main goal is to keep you safe. Sometimes this leads to self-sabotage, as it's easier to just stay in your comfort zone and avoid risk. However, great things never come from mediocrity. Quit settling for average and strive for extraordinary. Boldly go in the direction of your dreams. Stand tall and show the world what you're made of. When the world beats you down, find a reason to get back up again. Never give up on success. Try, and try again. Feed your mind ideas of success, not failure. Remember, the only way you can fail is if you give up. Every time you fail, you come one step closer to success. You're not scared. You are courageous. You're not weak. You are powerful. You're not ordinary. You are remarkable. Do not back down. Do not give up. When you look back on your life, don't have regrets. Believe in yourself, believe in your future, and you will find your way. There's a fire burning inside you that is very powerful. It is waiting to burn bright. You are meant to do great things. Following your dreams can be both terrifying and exciting. Courage is facing fear. Fear of failure is what holds most people back, but you are not most people. Persist and persuade others about your plans as they are real. Nobody can do this but you. Nobody will get in the way of our dreams. Most people master the obvious. You are creating something that wasn't there before. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it's you. Give it your best, and your dreams will come to life. Success is yours. Go for your dreams. It is your turn. Thank you.
Now, Aishwarya Mahalanobis of 11F from Emerald House will deliver the speech, Strength of a Woman, by Michelle Obama.
Women have been marginalized since time immemorial, and the discrimination is more deep-rooted when it comes to women of color. But history has proven that they can be some of the most inspirational people ever who had the fortitude to push through their fears. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aishwarya Mahalanobis from Emerald House, and today I'll be narrating a speech that inspired me deeply by former First Lady of the United States of America, Michelle Obama. The strength of a woman. I grew up in a working class neighborhood in the southern side of Chicago. We had a really small apartment there. I often woke up at 4 in the morning when the house was finally quiet, just so that I could concentrate and finish my schoolwork. My parents told me every day that I could be anything, a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, anything, but only if I work as hard as I could to succeed in school. And I did everything in my power to be a good student. But despite my efforts, there were still people in my life who told me that I was setting my sights too high, that a girl like me couldn't get into an elite university. And after a while, I started to wonder, well, maybe I was dreaming too big. The fact that I was Black and that I was a girl, it certainly didn't help things either. You know how hard it is when a family struggles to make ends meet. That's when the world needs more girls like you. The world needs more girls like you to grow up and lead our parliaments, our boardrooms, our courtrooms, and our universities. We need you. And that starts with making sure that every girl on this planet has the same kinds of opportunities that you all have to get the education and to succeed. As you have heard right now, there are more than 62 million girls in this world who are not in school. One of these girls could have the potential to cure cancer, or to transform an industry, or to become the next president or prime minister. I see women winning elections. I see women who are going to win science competitions and arts awards. I see leaders out there inspiring everyone in this world. That's what I see, because I know what's inside of girls like me and what's inside of girls like you. And I've seen it again and again, that how hard we fight for our families and how deeply we care for our communities. And that got me thinking that what our parents told us really is true. That if we get our education, we can do anything. We can lift up ourselves to heights we can never imagine. We can pay forward all the love and support that our families poured into us. And we can truly be, as Dr. Ogden says, the builders of a new day. Thank you.
Praditi Ghosh of 11A, representing Scarlet House, will put the stage on fire with What is Life About? By Fearless Soul.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Pratiti Ghosh of class 11F, representing Scarlet House, will deliver a speech on What is Life About by the Fearless Soul. The Fearless Soul creates inspirational music speeches based on gratitude, abundance, and the laws of attraction. My speech, What is Life About, conveys the purpose that life is about being happy, no matter what it throws at you. What is life about? Is it simply about obtaining success?
what is success? Really, it's only a matter of opinion. To some, success means money. To some, success is simply doing what they love or spending time with those they love. Either way, success can only be defined in one word, and that one word is happiness. It's the reason why we stress over money, chase the perfect partner, or try to live up to the world's image of what we should be. Because we believe in getting those things, one day we will be happy. Life is not about proving anyone wrong. Life is about proving yourself right. Life is not about competing against others, but it is about competing against yourself to make sure that you're better than your previous self, better than what you were yesterday, to make sure that you're growing every single day, developing, learning, experiencing. Life is not about being perfect. It's about being happy. Not all the time, but every time you can. Life is not about being right. It's about being kind. When you have the choice to be right or to be kind, choose kindness, choose love. Life is not about noticing the negatives. It's about creating such huge positives that the negatives pale in comparison. Life is not about you. It's about everyone and everything. We're all connected, all sharing life's challenges and struggles. Be kind, lift others up, give freely without expecting anything in return, and the world will return you with happiness and abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Life is not about comparing yourself to others. Let everyone else be exactly as they are, while you focus on being the best you. Your life is not defined by circumstances. Your life is not defined by what does or does not happen to you. But it is defined by how you choose to react to the circumstances and the events that arrive in your life. Always remember that challenges are tests and hard times are character builders. It is in our greatest challenges that our greatest strength is formed. That is when our character shines right after the storm. What's really important is who you become through all of life's challenges. What you make and accumulate will never be a match for who you become and the happiness you bring to this world. Don't ever forget that you are a miracle. This world is a blessing and life is a miracle. Life is really what you make it. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for our last contestant, Karen Kaur Dhariwal of 11G from Royal House with Ask, Believe and Receive by Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is an American television and radio presenter, businessman, author, actor, and former stand-up comedian. He hosts the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Kaur Dhaliwal from 11G, representing the Royal House today. Your brain is divided into two halves, positive and negative, good and evil. It don't function on nothing else, ain't no neutral ground in your brain. It's either positive and good or negative and evil. Each half of your brain has millions of factory workers on each side. You got 1 million factory workers on the positive side, and you got 1 million factory workers on the negative side. Now, each on the forefront of your halves of brain, there is a forming. You got forming positive and you got forming negative, and you are in charge. You are the boss of the factory. So let me show you how this works. You got a remote control. You go to your house tonight and you press the power button and you press it. You expect the TV to come on. You press that power button, you expect the TV to come on. If you want to watch HBO and HBO is channel 300, you press 300 and then you press select. What do you expect to come on the TV? HBO. They took this concept from the Bible because God said a man is as he's thinking. And since he created all of us in his image, guess what? We are how we think. Therefore, he gives you the same power. If God says, let there be light, there was light. If God said,
I want to part the waters from the land. It was done so. He gives you the same power to produce. So do it. Let me show you how this works since your brain is in two halves. You wake up in the morning, you say, man, I don't feel myself today. I have got to get to work. I don't even like how I have to wake up. I don't have a car that I want to drive. Forming negative. He turns around, he says, the boss just woke up. And he says he's not feeling himself today. He's having a bad day. Millions of factory workers start producing thoughts instantly to justify what you just said. So now guess what? Man, I hate how my alarm clock went off this morning. I have got to get out here in this traffic. I don't even like the people that I work with. Instantly, your day starts tumbling into what you ordered on the top of the day because of what you thought. You can wake up in the morning and you can say, man, you know what? I'm having a great day today. I expect wonderful things to happen to me today. Thank you, Lord, for waking me up. Forming positive. He turns around, he says, let me have your attention. The boss just woke up. He's having a great day today. He expects wonderful things to happen to him. Let's get it going. Forming positive. Same brain says what? You know, today Steve's having a good day. That means he can't wait to get to work. It might not be the job that you want, but it is the job that you have, and you at least have a check coming in. At least you have a car to drive to work. If you don't have a car, at least you have your feet to walk to the train. You have got to change the way that you think, because it is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. You may not determining factor of where you go in life. You can change your attitude and you will change your altitude. We are all where we are today because we taught ourselves to this position. If you do not like that position, think yourself out of it. Thank you.
Where do you go when you need a bit of extra lift? Sometimes the best thought out words of history's best orators can be just the ticket. The fiery speeches of my dear friends with oodles of positivity has been truly a ticket to lifting our spirits. Now we present a token of our appreciation and gratitude to our honored judges. I shall now request our dear parents to share their thoughts about this event. Parents, please.
Most welcome to just come up and share your thoughts. We've seen you after so long, it gives us a lot of inspiration to hear your voices. Any language is fine, just your words stays in your heart to inspire. Please.
Good afternoon, all. You have all given us a wonderful afternoon. The hall has really come into life, seeing you all and hearing you all. The humor and inspiration speeches had delighted us, and we hope with the new year coming, we see all you in campus, and ma'am will always be with you, and we will have a wonderful time with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else who would like to share her or his feelings?
The last 2 years, how we navigated this whole thing together. It's not been easy. Your thoughts, anything about your daughters? Any of the students want to say anything straight from the heart? share your feelings, not just prepared speeches, but what you felt about this whole journey. Come. Let's have it.
I would like to thank my mentor. She was really very helpful throughout this journey of our elocution. And I'm very excited to come back to campus. And the feeling of coming here and reciting, and my heart was thumping if I'm doing good. But at the moment when I came on stage, I was enjoying it. I was not worried about the prize and all. I was enjoying it from my heart. And I really thank my mentor for telling me that prizes are secondary. You need to enjoy your moment.
Name your mentor, please.
Yes, ma'am, it's Deroy, ma'am. Thank you.
Anybody else, students, parents, anybody? We love to hear your voices. It's always us talking. Anybody? It's been quite a journey for the last 2 years. Anybody? Come on, please. Any parent? Otherwise, we move on.
Good afternoon to everyone once again. I had quite a journey in these past 2 years. So currently I'm in class 11. I didn't have my class 10 on campus. And for that, I feel really sad, obviously. But I feel that the teachers, when they conducted the online classes, they've always tried to make us relive that experience which we had in school probably. So I'm really grateful to the teachers who have always supported us. And obviously a very big thank you to Principal Ma'am, Vice Principal Ma'am for constantly hosting these competitions and not letting the interest go away, because we tend to lose interest in anything. And we just like to laze around and be a couch potato at home in these past 2 years, given the circumstances which we are in right now. And coming to the elocution journey, it's been really nice. And I've had to relive the experience which I had in class 9. And all thanks to Miss S. Khosh ma'am and Miss R. Basu ma'am for doing that. I wouldn't have been able to do this without your support and your guidance. Thank you once again.
Yes, right.
Now Sriporna's mother. Good afternoon to everyone here. It's really a very nice afternoon. Thank you, Ma'am Shaha. Thank you, Ma'am Ghosh, for inviting us to see this live. When my daughter was in class 9, she won the award, but I was not there. So this is really a lovely moment to see and enjoy all the girls' performances. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I shall now request Vice Principal ma'am to kindly encourage our participants with her words of wisdom.
I really don't know how I think we've been here for the past hour, and I don't know how time flew. Sriporna, we will never allow anybody to become a couch potato. Definitely not, I promise you that. And I think, of course, I mean, huge round of congratulations to you, my young students. You know, the kind of energy, the vigor with which you recited your poems and how you narrated your speeches, I am completely spellbound. And as you saw, that ma'am came with her paper to us because, you know, we were really having a hard time. I think, well, this year has been, I think all of us will remember 2021, you know, because we've seen the best of times and we've seen the worst of times. And we still don't know whether what future has in store for us, because we have this threat of Omicron, which looms large. But at the same time, we're feeling very happy because West Bengal has been put on the world map. And we've been listed as, the Durga Puja has been listed as the, UNESCO's intangible heritage. So like, a huge round of applause for us. And I think a huge round of applause also because we're relieved that the girls' marriageable age has gone up to 21. That's great. But then again, at the same time, you've got the negatives also. You've got tornadoes completely devastating places like Kentucky. And we have so many, sporting activities, like especially winter sports, which are being threatened due to climate change and global warming. And we are proud that we needed Vinisha Umashankar to tell all of us that we are earthlings and we've got to do things right now or never. So, but in the midst of all this, I think certain things remain constant, and that happens to be the power of speech. That happens to be the magic of effective communication, and that happens to be the passion of poetry, all of which you have displayed today, my dear, dear young leaders of tomorrow. So congratulations. I just thought that, and they say that poetry is supposed to create the willing suspension of disbelief, which I think all of you did. And I will take this opportunity to, I haven't learned the poem because I am old and I don't want to make a fool of myself in case I forget the lines. But this poem was shared by Principal Ma'am in one of many groups which I share with her. And I think I'm not going to get into any explanation. But when I say that poetry or any kind of speech, this whole gamut of effective communication is very important for us, because through this, I think we can make a point. It can be one of the tools to usher in change. And I hope when I read this poem, I hope it will create a willing suspension of disbelief so that we may realize where we are going wrong and we can change for the better and make the world a better place in the year to come. So here goes. This poem is entitled Moment by Margaret Atwood. The moment when, after many years of hard work and a long voyage, you stand in the center of your room, house, half-acre, square mile, island, country, knowing at last how you got there, and say, I own this. Is the same moment when the trees unloose their soft arms from around you, the birds take back their language, the cliffs fissure and collapse, the air moves back from you like a wave, and you can't breathe. No, they whisper, you own nothing. You were a visitor time after time, climbing the hill, planting the flag, proclaiming, we never belonged to you. You never found us. It was always the other way around. Thank you so much, and wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a very, very Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that beautiful poem. It truly touched our hearts. I shall now request Ma'am Singhdeo to speak a few words of encouragement.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, after what Ma'am Ghosh has said, I don't think there's anything left for me to say, but I'll share something very personal with you. I woke up this morning and I went back under my cover. It was very cold. And I thought, oh no, I remember that I had to come here. We had a reading partnership in the junior section and then the elocution. So I remembered a poem. I think one of you long back when you were in class 5, I think, had recited that poem by Shel Silverstein, where there's this boy who says, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. And at the end, the mother says, you better go. You're the principal. Right. I don't, one of you or maybe one of your classmates, I was reminded of that, I just have to go to school. When I came here, I entered the hall and I asked ma'am, I said, ma'am, approximately how long is it going to take? So she said 2 hours. I said, 2 hours? I said, okay. I requested her, I said, please give me a cup of coffee. So she said, okay, we'll try. But the 2 hours, I don't know whether it's been 2 hours or not, but it seems like it's been 10 minutes. Each poem, each speech was mesmerizing. And I think some of you I have taught, one of you I've taught, but I've seen all of you. And and especially Insha. Insha, I remember, was a very, very shy girl. And she's Ma'am A. Rahman's neighbor, I think, neighbor or niece. So she had introduced me to her and I used to go and speak to her. I said, hi, Insha. She would just put her head down and walk by. She would not even look me in the eye. And to see you here, it was mind-blowing, really. That's the only word. Thank you so much for inviting me. I was very apprehensive, but thank you so very much. And congratulations to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now comes the moment for which all of you have been waiting with bated breath, the results of the competition. I shall request Vice Principal ma'am to announce the results and Principal ma'am to kindly do the honors.
So I'd like the children to be seen. Yes, that will be announced from the back. And the children come here so that the camera can catch them.
I know. I'll just turn the mic.
Turn that side so that the children can get the camera. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we'll start with class 9 first. And the Judge's Choice Award goes to Shubhanishta.
Get mask off for a picture and be here so the camera can catch you. This side now. Moment for you, Shubhanishta. It's been such a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Congratulations. Thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome. Congratulations.
The third prize goes to Insha Khalid.
Come this side, Insha. Camera can catch you here. Want everyone to see. You know this is being streamed live, so your friends are watching. I hope from home. That's for you. Congratulations.
The second prize goes to Navya Nawal.
I really enjoyed myself. I really loved it. So there you go. Hold it up to your friends to see.
And beware of the porcupines. So the first prize goes to Tahira.
Big one. I'm sure your parents will be very, very happy and proud. Congratulations.
Well done.
Take your mask off for the photograph.
Thank you. And now, class 11, the Judge's Choice Award goes to Aishwarya Mahalanobis.
Congratulations. Well done.
The third prize goes to Sriparna Mukherjee.
Be careful. Come, let the camera catch you. Congratulations. Well done. Thank you.
The second prize goes to Pratiti Ghosh. Well done, Pratiti.
Camera can catch you. Well done.
Congratulations. And we can assure you that we are all feminists over here. So Pragya, first prize.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, I've been hearing you speak over the past, so many assembly notes and other things, and you're doing such a fantastic job. Congratulations. Well done.
I shall now request you to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. Namaskar, parents. It's been quite a journey for me, at least. And I feel very moved, overwhelmed almost to see the children back on campus yet again. So call me an emotional fool, if you will. But these are small steps that we are taking to go back to normalcy, and go back we will. So do we have your support? Was it good for you to come back today? Yes. Absolutely. So that's why these little things, these small steps are to ensure that our campus is buzzing, it's alive, and that the fun hasn't gone out of our lives. Academics has been taken care of thanks to the superhuman effort of our teachers, all of us together who've been holding the reins together. It's not been easy, neither has it been for you, nor has it been for us. It has been very, very trying and testing. But today when I heard you speak, I think we are okay. I think we can pat ourselves on our backs and say, it's all well, it's all good, and all will be okay very soon if you keep, as Karen put it brilliantly, and it's something that I believe in, Karen, it's all about the positive and negative in your mind and what you wake up thinking. For me, I've not had a negative all through because I know school is there waiting for me. You are there waiting for me, and I have to keep myself going. I have to stay healthy and fit and happy so that there can be good cheer, sunshine on campus or off it. We have to be together, united in spirit, in energy, and in mission. So thank you so much, teachers, for doing this today. The hours of training behind the scenes and how our stars have delivered. I think they've really lived up to the promise and potential that we all know that they have deep within. Today, you have inspired so many. You've inspired us to keep carrying on this journey of inspiration, of teaching, learning, mentoring, and growing together. And I think you've also inspired so many of your friends who I'm sure are wishing, when can we be back? When can we participate? So this is a clarion call for all of us that good times are around the corner. Always remember that we are your biggest well-wishers. We'll never do anything to compromise the safety and security of our children. Your children are ours. And we are every bit responsible for their well-being as you are. So we'll never do anything to compromise their security, their safety, but their emotional well-being is also important. Far too many are losing courage, losing hope, feeling alone, isolated. So it's time they got back in small groups with all safety measures intact. And that's the goal for the session that is about to unveil after the holidays. So I wish you well, and I wish you to all see that there is eternity in a grain of sand. No matter how small the particle is, there is greatness underneath. So let us all try and discover the greatness that lies in each one of us.
And let us, as I say, work together as a family, as a team, sharing with candor, sharing responsibility and support so that the school can grow together with all of you being with us as one family. I would also take this opportunity for all students and teachers to clap for our parents. We couldn't have done this without your support. There have been highs and lows. There have been trying times, but we have sailed through it all because we've been aligned in vision, in thought, in dream, in purpose, because the center of it all, the center of our universe is here. And I give it to you, children. Prove us right each time. Do things that will make you happy and proud, and also give us our moment of glory, our spot in the sunshine. We are here because of you. Wishing you the very best for the festive season ahead and a very, very happy new year. Thank you and God bless all. Yes, Tamanna. I think Tamanna deserves a lot of accolades, not only for today, but how she's empowered herself with debating, with all the things that she's done online, the number of contests, and more than anything, she's so calm. There have been times when I've seen her online, when the audio has gone off. She's not been able to connect, but Tamanna is there waiting with a smile on her face, unflinching in her dedication and courage to carry on relentlessly despite it all. So here's to you, Tamanna. No, Nami Pronam, Nina, you know that. That's for you. A very small token of our affection and our love for you. Thank you so much for coming this afternoon. Thank you so much. In a small photo stand.
No matter what language you speak, a kind and smiling thank you always speaks to everyone's heart. We thank our esteemed judges for their gracious presence and words of encouragement. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, which will surely guide us in our future events. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our respected principal ma'am for sustaining one of the most loved events of a school, the elocution competition. Thank you for your support, ma'am. I extend my gratitude to our dear parents for honoring us with their gracious presence. Best teachers teach from the heart, not from the book. A big thank you to our teachers who have mentored and guided us from their hearts and helped in making this event a success. We extend our gratitude to Mr. Ruya and the technical team for the smooth conduct of the event. Last but not the least, I thank my dear friends without whose support and active participation, this event would not have been possible. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
And so, children, we have some sweets for you, the participants. You can make a live event. Very well. Very well. We keep doing these small sessions. We keep inviting you so that we can share them early and see how they have grown. But we keep sustaining these small visions. We participate with us. That is which becomes stronger every day of